Look at the stars in the sky. I can't hold my head. I have a hard time holding my head up, but I'm trying to hold my head up. But I always look at the stars and think about how far away are those things. And they must be so bright if you can see them this far away. Anyway, yeah, just look at the stars up there. I have a hard time holding my head up. Oh God, that hurts my neck more than you think. Well, I guess I could lay down and look straight up. I'll lay down on the ground. Trying to look at the stars, and I just can't help but think, how far away are they? Anyway. Oh my God, dang. Looking up at the stars just broke my neck pain out. I'm supposed to go to my pain clinic today. Oh goodness. Help me, Lord. So let's go to the pain clinic today. In about 3 hours, I should be on my way there. Anyway, I don't know for sure if I'm going to be able to get one of these days. This car's okay, but this car's working on 6 years old, 2019. Yeah, it's working on 6 years old. I'm okay with this car for a while, but if I was to ever get another car, I'd like to have a Mazda, and I don't want it to be a brand new one. I don't care if I end up winning the lottery, and I know that ain't never gonna happen. I'm just saying, I don't care how rich I am, I don't think I would never buy a brand new car unless I just want to throw money away, because you buy a brand new car, you're paying, as soon as you drive it off the lot, you lose $5,000-$6,000, and somebody in this world's hungry. You know, I mean, that's the thing about buying a brand new car. Unless you're like my dad. My dad, he never really bought a brand new car. He always bought Mom a nice car like 1 or 2 years old. Now, he has bought my mom a new car towards his latter days, but there was one time my dad bought a new Ford Ranger in January. I'm trying to remember. That was a 97 Ford Ranger he bought in January 2008. It was a new car, but it was considered a year old, but it was still a new car, never been owned. It was sitting there on the Ford parking lot, and he got an excellent deal because it was a year old, but yet it was a brand new vehicle because it never been sold yet. It had less than, oh, that hurt my neck. It had less than 100 miles on it. Still a brand new vehicle, and that was a year old. He got a really good deal on that car buying it that way. And then later on, he bought a Ford Taurus the same way. But I'm just saying, I like a Honda Civic. It's one of my favorite cars. I like Toyota, and I do like Ford. But I wouldn't mind having a Mazda 3. A friend of mine's got a Mazda 3. He's got an older one. He's even got one with a 2.5 Skyactiv engine in it too. I like to have I would like to have, like, if I was to get one today, and that's not happening, it's 2024, I'd like to have a 2021 Mazda 3 with the 2.5 liter. Why do I say 2.5 liter? I don't know if they've got they have made 2.0s, they made smaller engines, but that 2.5 liter is a pretty big, it's a 4-cylinder. And it's a pretty big four banger. It's a pretty big four banger. The only other four cylinder bigger than that I've ever heard of was the Toyota made a truck one time with a 2.7 liter. You get around 2.7, 2.8, you're practically almost in a V6. It's just that body frame, the size, the weight of that car, and then it's a 2.5 liter. It's got pretty good power. Most cars, like a Ford Fusion, some of the Honda Accords were 2.4, and then Toyota had some Camrys that were 2.5. I had a 2.5 Camry one time. That thing had pretty good power, man, to be a 2.5. I just think that would be the right amount of power for me. I don't have to have a V8. I don't have to have a 350. I don't even have to have a 300. The 2.5 would be the right size, power, and everything for me, and be the best gas mileage for the amount of power that I would want. I don't know what kind of gas mileage that car gets, but it's probably pretty good. Probably not quite as good as my car now, but it's probably pretty good. That's my neck. One thing about coming early here to Walmart is it's like early right now. There's not as many people here, and I'll be able to get on a buggy if I need one. Electric cart. Sometimes I need electric cart here, and sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't need one here. Get off here, gotta go into Wally World. I gotta buy some oil. My car is supposed to go by the book, 0W20, but I had a Toyota guy to tell me you can't put 5W20, but I wouldn't go with 5W20. Said I wouldn't go no more. He said 5W20 might help the engine to run a little bit quieter, but the 0W20 is about fuel economy. You wouldn't want to use but 0 or 5W20. You'd be okay, even though the book just says 0W20. But check this out. They got 0W8, 0W16. I know some of the Camrys use 0W16, but what car is using 0W8? I thought 0W16 was like transmission fluid. Long time ago you could use 0W30, but not anymore. I don't know who's using 0W30. I don't know what cars, but looky there, they got 0W8, 0W16. Wintertime, it'd be better for me to use 0W20 than 0W or 5W20. Between 0W20 and 5W20, it'd be better for me in the wintertime to use 0. It just start up better when it's cold. But you can still use either or. Damn, there's 5W40. Any race car engines take that kind of oil. I gotta do an oil change here for too long. It's $25 for that, isn't it? Mobil 1 is the only oil company that puts a guarantee with mileage. See, it says 10,000 miles. The only car company that puts that on there. Up here you got 20,000 miles. There's 20,000 miles. They're the only ones that do that. I'll spend $2 more and get the 20,000 miles. Now their oil filters over here, Mobil 1 says these oil filters can go 20,000 miles. They're synthetic oil filters, but Toyota recommends 10,000 miles. Mobil 1 says 20,000, Toyota says 10,000. I do 10,000 on the oil filter. I'd use Toyota's recommendation. I don't like the idea of 20,000. 10,000 sounds. There's my oil filter right there. I got the number memorized. That M1. I'm pretty sure that 108A, that's my oil filter. It's $11. This right here is the best place in the world to buy oil for the price. I heard that Royal King, what's the name of that place? It starts with R. Royal King has a good deal on oil too, but I've not been over there. Someone's told me Royal King. I got an oil change coming on my car. 26 plus 11. 26 plus 11. What is 26 plus 11? 37. If I do it myself, I'm looking at $40-something. If I pay somebody to do it, it'd be $80. I really don't need to do the oil filter just yet in my car because I don't think I've gone 10,000. I don't drive my car very much. I could use my oil filter one more time. My oil changes, my oil, I usually go about 3,000-4,000, even though Toyota says I can go 10. Mobil 1 says I can go 20. I change oil every 3,000 or 4,000 because it goes black. It'll go black. So I change oil every 3,000, maybe a little more, and I change the oil filter Toyota standards. So every time I change my oil, the hardest thing for me physically is taking the oil filter out. I've got a special tool in my toolbox though that makes it a lot easier to do. When you're changing your oil, you're laying on your back. Now, laying on concrete is hard on my back, but it don't take but 17 minutes for me to change my oil because I've timed myself. My last landlord, he didn't want me changing my last landlord, my last apartment, he didn't want me changing the oil there on his property. He didn't want anybody working on their car, so I would do it early Sunday morning when most people were asleep. And I timed myself because I had to get it done and over with real quick. I didn't want to get caught changing the oil on the premises because he didn't want me doing that. So I did it real quick. And I was timing myself because I was wondering how quick it would take me, and I got it done in 17 minutes. All you gotta do is take a plug out of an engine. All you gotta do is jack the car up, climb underneath it, take a plug out. If you're just gonna do that only, just take a plug out. That don't take but 10 minutes, and then stick the oil back in the car. It's so easy to do. The only thing is I couldn't do it as a job because you'd have to do that constantly all day long, and I can't stand up that long. I'm doing good just to do one oil change. At most I might be able to do 2 at the very most, but you can't make a living doing 2 oil changes a day. They go work. Turn my car on. I keep up with my oil changes here in this little computer thing. Checking my motor oil in that one picture. I'm looking at it right here. I don't know why, but this car is supposed to have oil changes about every 7,500 miles. But the oil goes black and about 3,000 miles. And if you know anything about cars, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, you've not taken, the car's not had oil changes, and the car's gotten real dirty on the inside. I know it's, if you don't see, I got 500 miles. I got to do an oil change. And then that's the tire rotation. I know what you mean by that, but I know what you mean by that. But the thing is, this car was bought at 40 miles. It only had 40 miles on it since the dealership. And I have had the oil changes in this car every 3,000 miles. When the dealership said a lot of Toyotas go like 10,000 on oil changes. Mobil 1 oil's supposed to go 10, 20,000 miles. But I've been changing oil in this car ever since I had. I swear I have maybe a little over 3,000. It's had its oil changes. More, it's had overkill in oil changes. And that's not what's making it black either. I've had, it's been giving oil changes. I don't know why the oil goes black so quick in this car. It just does. It's a Sky Active Monster engine. Maybe that's why, I don't know. But as you see from Walmart, that's about the cheapest you can buy motor oil. I gotta get an oil change done here next couple of weeks. Probably do it myself. It don't take me, but I mean, I gotta jack the car up. It's the hardest thing about it. Take the oil plug out of the engine. I can do it in 17 minutes. You just take the oil out. So anyway, I gotta do it. See, when the oil gets too black, that worries me, because that means the oil's broke down. Don't want the oil to go too black, folks. Anyway.